one dead-end job to another, you know, labouring or this, that, and skiving off, just go out with my mates down the pub and things like that, because they didn't work either, and I just sort of got into that social following, you know, not doing anything really, doing a day here and there, just have enough money to cover my rent, and sometimes not even paying my rent, getting moved on from places because I weren't looking after myself, you know. I dropped weight because I weren't eating, because instead I was going out all the time and not working, so I had no money to do it. And the dole wouldn't give me money, because obviously if I'm not making an effort, they won't make an effort for me. So yeah, about a year old ago I was...
Mark Norfield then was a troubled youth of crime and drugs, everything. You just hang around on the street.
I guess we've all had times in our life when we feel nothing is going right. It's as if we've lost our way and don't know where to go next. At times like that, it's good to talk, preferably with someone who won't judge or tell you what to do, someone who'll listen and let you say what you want to happen. Now, that may sound simply like having a friendly chat, but it's actually got a name: mentoring. Take Mark. In his own words, he was a troubled youth a year ago. Now he's a trainee chef in a busy restaurant doing really well. Mentoring has allowed him to get a lot more out of life than he could have dreamt of a year ago.
It's probably a good job, lots of friends out of it. Got a car, steady relationship at the moment.
Well, to start with, I'm a lot more confident in myself. You know, I feel that I can go and do something and get it. You know, I can grab something and it's mine. You know, I can do it. It gives me, and when I get home, as I say, it gives me a feeling of achievement. You know, I've actually done something with myself every day. You know, and as I say, a year ago, I felt like, well, to me, a year ago, I felt like I was a lad. You know, I was a big I am, but really, if I look back at myself, I was nothing but bottom of the ladder, really, bit of dirt, really. The way I was acting, the way I was playing up, the way I was treating people, you know, I was just basically a thug, really, to be honest. So it's changed my life a lot, and I'm really, really glad. I'm only 20 now, so I've got my whole life in front of me, and if I'm doing something now with an MVQ promised at the end of this, if I work hard enough, I can get somewhere, you know. It makes me feel like, yeah, I'm not stupid, I'm not thick, or I weren't at school all the time, but I've made it. I'm doing something in my life, you know.
It just helped me. I mean, I just sit down and think to myself, before I come in here, I just think to myself, well, wake up in the morning and think, right, what am I going to do? Maybe I'd go down the road, go and check a mate, maybe go and do whatever, go to the pub maybe, just do nothing, you know? But now when I wake up in the morning, I know, yeah, I'm going to go down Bowes and get on a computer and do this, do that, set up a little something on the weekend for the youth maybe, or there's a little something happening on the weekend for the youth, I'm going to go and help out with that. You know what I mean? Feel good to do it now, to get up instead of getting up and thinking, ain't nothing to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, my background, I mean, I was mentored by my brother, because I actually failed all my exams at school. People don't believe that, but I failed all of my examinations at school, and I actually had to go back into the 5th year to take up formal education. And sort of 6, 7 years on from that, after I got a degree, like in business studies, my brother was constantly by my side, constantly telling me, you know, not actually dictating to me, but saying, have a look at this, what do you think about that? And, you know, it's that open kind of two-way conversation which is vitally important.
Mentors can help lots of different types of people, some with problems, others who are already successful. But the one thing all these relationships have in common is that they allow mentees to define their own goals and get support as they work towards them. Because mentoring is so fluid, you'll find your relationship is unique. It's okay to make your own rules, as long as you and your mentor both agree and stick to the framework of exploring possibilities, defining goals, and getting support.
I think we established ground rules. We knew what we could expect from each other and what he was going to be able to do in the time that he was with me, and vice versa. I think that's very important. It's clear that you've got to establish trust and respect early on, as we've already said, and then it's a matter, I think, of the mentor having some kind of empathy with the younger person and making that clear, maybe without being too matey and pally like I think there's a temptation to do, to totally trying to absorb yourself in young people's culture. I don't think that works.
It seemed like he cared, kind of come from the heart. I knew it was his job to do it, but it seems like it come from inside.
doesn't talk down to me, if you get what I'm saying. She doesn't treat me like, she doesn't judge me, if you know what I mean.
If a player is keen for my thoughts, then you know, I'll play it straight with them. I'll tell them what I think. Now they can go away and either make of that what they wish. But generally they respect your opinion.
Mentoring is a supportive role. It's someone who's there to listen, who understands your situation, who understands you.
One of the key fundamental things I find is to actually listen to what they're saying. There's many things you can pick up from a young person as to what they're saying through their frustration and their anger, but because they portray and it comes across in a certain manner, a lot of adults are turned off by that. They're kind of like, oh, you know, this person's very aggressive, and you have to have the ability to deal with those kind of emotions. So primarily for me, the most important thing is to actually listen to that young person.
I arrange monthly meetings with Kate, and we meet up and have a chat about how my progress is doing and what I'm up to, and you know, we also talk about my more long-term future plans, about where I want things to go by the end of the year, and you know, how I want to run my business, and just anything that's come up that I'm having difficulty with, or how to do my books and things like that.
Yeah, we've got a sort of agenda put beforehand of things that we need to talk about, and meet up once a month and actually talk about issues that are current, and things like what you're going to do to make some money once the project finishes, and all those kind of things, just so that it's sort of based in reality of also what you'd like to do, but what is possible at the moment.
Well, she's talked to me and she's like asked me what I want, you know, and she's told me what I could do, and she's actually told me that I've got potential, and people never used to tell me that.
I think being quite sensitive, Belinda's quite sensitive and quite easy to get on with, and doesn't try to be too forceful. I'm quite an independent, forceful person. If I had somebody telling me what to do, I wouldn't be able to work with it. But I think because Belinda listens and gives advice rather than tells me, it's much easier to get on with that way. That's a nice quality.
Well, once we'd established our friendship through mutual interest in things like fishing, particularly, and football, and you know, lads things, I think from there we got trust and some mutual respect. You know, I respected the fact that he was opening up and talking to me freely, and I think he felt that I was listening and not being judgmental about what he was saying.
It's important that both people are clear about what they want to achieve, and that may be in the short term in the meeting, but also over the medium and longer term. So what they want to achieve, they need to establish a climate of trust between them. There needs to be good listening going on. There needs to be open discussion, quite honest discussion, and they tend to follow a process which is about generally exploring an issue thoroughly. And as a result of exploring it through discussion, through questions, often the mentee can arrive at a new understanding of a situation. And once that's been arrived and established that, oh yeah, I see things differently now, the mentor can then move it on into thinking about, well, what action do you take? You know, what are you going to do about that? If you understand it differently, what are you going to do next?
You've got to realise yourself though, because some of them people on the street haven't realised themselves what they want to do, and yeah, as I say, it took me 5 years, but you've got to realise yourself before anyone else will help you that you've got to sort your life out and get yourself on a straight track, not this other track, you know. You've got to pull yourself together first.
Very important that the mentee has an understanding about what they're going to be responsible for in the relationship. Sometimes mentoring relationships fail because the mentee thinks, oh, the mentor's going to do everything for me. They're going to help me achieve all my aims, plus get me a job or a promotion, everything. And then the mentor says, well, no, I don't see it like that, and the mentee can feel let down. So again, it's both parties sitting down and agreeing what they're looking to achieve and what each party is going to add to the relationship.
I think that it is the right way forward. Mentoring has probably been happening all of the time, and we've not really formally recognised it as such, because really what you're talking about is basically somebody that is older and has not even necessarily older, but somebody who has got more experience, trying to assist somebody who nominally has got less experience, and trying to show them and talk to them and take them through to add to their experience.
I'd like to be a head chef, but it's going to take a long time.
he's gone back there as a good role model, increasingly as a good role model, somebody who stepped out of the difficulties he was in and making things work, and helping perhaps to dispel this this kind of cultural feel that grows up that it's not very cool to be employed and it's okay, to be wandering the streets and making a bit of a nuisance of yourself.
If people are going on that line, it's not worth it. Really, at the end of the day, the only result in that is behind bars. And I've lost a lot of my friends behind bars, and that's probably also made me see, that's not what I want to do. Visiting them, I don't want to be the one being visited. I want to have my freedom. I want to have a life, a career, a car, money in my pocket to do what I want.
There's no secret, no mystery. Mentoring is an everyday, practical way of helping you get where you want to go. So if you're prepared to put the effort in, who knows where you might be this time next year.